How my mom feels about the job is up and down. She hates the fact that I have tattoos. She hates when I get tattoos. When I tell her or say, you know, is there not a point where it doesn't matter anymore? She'll tell me they all matter. And I think she's definitely more proud of me now with what we've done with the shop and built over the last while. It's not some little hole in the wall, and there is, you know, good money to be made, a lot of respect that you can get from it, and it's kind of opened her eyes to the industry. So just seeing that it's not just bikers and you know, guys in jail tattooing and getting tattooed.
My parents support me, approve my job, all good. Now, not in the beginning.
My parents are 100% cool with it, have always been 100% cool with it. I actually got into tattooing because I used to go to tattoo studios with my stepdad while he got tattooed.
At first my mom was a little iffy. It was more because when I started getting them, she was like, like, what do you have to get them? And every time I'd show up, like, hey, let me see what's new. And it's like, Mom, like, they're all old. I would just lie and be like, I got that like 10 years ago. She'd be like, you did?
Like, they were obviously skeptical, but more about my future and my security. After they realised that it was a good career and that I'm super happy and, you know, I can support myself, I can buy nice things, and I've kind of, like, I'm doing well for myself, they're totally supportive.
They love it. They're all in, super proud of it. You know, it's always touching. I speak to my dad on a regular basis. My mom too as well. They think it's super cool that I'm traveling lots and, you know, I'm doing these segments. Oh, he's on YouTube. You know, they get all proud and stuff. It's pretty cool.
My parents were dead set against tattoos, which is pretty interesting. My mom, she told me that I will never tattoo her. When she dies, I can go in the morgue and tattoo her and that's it, you know, and it was just, I was like, Mom, kind of deal. You know, that's super weird, why would you say that? But she ended up getting tattooed a few times and sat like a rock because my mom's super tough. And my dad was in the military for 17 years, didn't get a tattoo, and told me that, you know, I was in the service for 17 years, didn't get one then, I'm not gonna get one now kind of concept. And so I ended up tattooing him too. That was pretty interesting. I enjoy that the older crowd is more open-minded to tattoos now, and they are looking at it as something that is fun and to be able to collect a piece of art from their son. I don't think they would have gotten tattooed if it wasn't for me though.
But Mom and Dad were like, tattooing? You sure you can make a living doing that? You know, blah blah blah. You know, and now they're just thrilled, you know. I mean, my mom, you know, she's not really big into my getting tattooed on my hands and my neck, and the Jack Rudy skull on the back of my head really kind of bummed her out, you know. But once I started tattooing and they saw that I was making money, and more money than my other job, you know, they were cool with it. And then after 3 years of tattooing, I started doing conventions, started traveling the entire world, and I think they were pretty happy for me, you know, and they're really surprised how tattooing could take me around the world and you know, make money anywhere in the world and stuff. So, and my dad's an artist, you know, it's the only job he ever had his entire life. He never had another job other than being a full-time artist.
I quit a really good job. I dumped away my former life for this. First, they went crazy. My dad issued me some sort of early midlife crisis, but now they are really proud. They are one of my biggest supporters, actually, especially my mom. She got a tattoo now, and she hated tattoos.
At first, they didn't like it. At first, my old man, he thought there was no money in art, but now, man, I'm pretty sure he's proud as hell. Like he tells, pretty sure he tells all his friends, and he's on Facebook. He doesn't like any of my photos, any of the stuff I post up. So if you're seeing this, can you like one of my photos at least, Dad? But my mom, she shares all my photos. She shares everything I post up. She's proud as hell, and yeah, I think they love it. They love that I did something with my art.
What do my parents think about my job? In the beginning, they were not the most supportive. They didn't take it seriously. They seen it as me trying to not go to school or work or do something productive, that I wanted to take the shortcut route. After I got my apprenticeship and really started to do things with tattooing, traveling, and able to support my family and my kids with it, that was when I think my parents really changed their perspective on it, and now they're all for it 100%. They support me to the fullest on it, which I am beyond grateful for, because in the beginning it seemed rough, but yeah, they're all about it now.
About 10, 12 years ago, I would say my parents would have been like, they were like, what the fuck are you doing? How the hell are you gonna support your family tattooing? Now, they don't say that. They're waiting for me to come home to tattoo them.
My parents, they're both deceased, so my father didn't really have anything to do with it whatsoever. My mother, when I first got tattooed, she was not pleased, but as time went on and she saw what I did with my skills and my career, she got on board quickly and became a fan and a lover of it. And actually she worked doing books for my shop for about a decade before she passed away, and her husband's name was Mullen, and since I do all aquatic work, I wound up doing a big blue marlin on her shoulder. So that was kind of special to me to actually bring it full circle and get to tattoo my mother before she passed.
They were skeptical about tattooing, especially because I did an apprenticeship in the mid-2000s. Place shut down. I didn't tattoo again until like November of 2014. So when I started doing it again, they were very supportive. I had $17 to try and buy equipment with, and my mother actually borrowed me money in addition to like a little extra money I had to buy equipment. So they've been extremely supportive of what I'm doing.
So my parents were, when it comes to tattooing and me being involved in tattooing, were not into it at all. It was it bummed them out seriously. You know, it was kind of rough in the beginning, but cause it was like two parts. Like it was like they found out that I had tattoos, and then they find out that I'm doing the tattoos. So when I first got into tattooing, yeah, it was a real shocker for them. And but you know, down the road, they love it. I've never tattooed them. My dad passed away a while ago, but my mom, she'd never get a tattoo. I probably never want to give her one either.
I didn't get my parents' approval in tattooing until I was actually successful in life, and they seen like, whoa, he's not a convict. He's actually doing art, and he's making a good living, supporting his family with it, and he's not just doing some little street activity or, you know, street hustle tattooing. I think that's what they thought of it because the way I was living and the path I was going down. But I definitely turned to something that was negative. I was still tattooing when I was 14, but I was keeping myself in it, living a negative life tattooing. And I definitely turned my tattooing into a sober thing and a clean thing, and I'm able to provide for my family for it. So my parents definitely are pretty proud of what I do now.
When I told them I started tattooing, there was no problem with that because they knew I will do it in the best way that I can, so it was okay for them. And that's important. You should always support your kids in what they love to do. So, for example, Bella, she's playing tennis as hell, so we support her. Hannah, she loves to edit videos. We support her. Lily likes to what's the name? Sewing. So she has a sewing machine. That's, you know, it's not about you have to go to a university and you have to become whatever. It's about this one, you know. That's more important than, and that's what my parents did. They said, yeah, it's okay, do it, because they knew not what's going to happen, but they knew I will do it for my family.
In Greece, it's not so trend and famous tattooing, but now they really like it. They follow me on Facebook, they like my pictures on Facebook, and they even share my pictures on Facebook, so they're okay with it. Yeah, they like it.
I guess my parents have been really encouraging with my career and my job choice, especially when I was younger and wanting to get into tattooing.
In the beginning, my parents weren't really up to par me tattooing because they didn't think it was a career. They just thought it was another path that I needed to find myself. But goddamn, I sure did. I sure did find myself. And now I get to prove to my family that you do follow your dreams, and this is one of them. So check that off the list.
When I was 18 and I went and got my first tattoo at Burt Grimm's by Dave Gibson, I went to a Halloween party with some of my buddies and got plastered, wasted, drunk, fell out a window, banged my head, I still got the bump. They didn't know what to do, so they dropped me on the doorstep and rang the doorbell and booked, you know? And my dad came out and saw that I was drunk and I had throw up all over me and stuff, so he went and took me in the shower and set me in the shower and went to turn the shower on or pulled my shirt off and saw my tattoo for the first time. And instead of turning the water on hot, he turned it on cold, turned the light off, and closed the door. Years later, it was Thanksgiving, he apologized for that incident. And I said, no, Dad, I deserve that shit. And he said to me, he said, no, son, I didn't know that that was what you were going to do with your life. And that was a pretty special moment. I love my father. Thank you, Dad.